don't know what'll get there. I'd like to do a 10 million pool next year. See, I think it's going to be a lot easier to get money, sponsors, all this stuff. We proved it. Year 2, you really prove it. And then you got something. I've invited 2 people so far. They both said yes. I don't know how serious the yeses are. Caitlin said yes. Kaya Trump said yes. Those are my 2 that I've asked.
The WNBA as a whole is reeling from Caitlin Clark's recent acceptance of an offer from Dave Portnoy. No, this isn't just a minor endorsement agreement. League leaders are freaking out. An invitation to Dave Portnoy's enormous online invitational golf event has been accepted by Caitlin Clark. Let's be really clear about what this is now. This is not a little charity event that receives a few thousand live stream views. We are discussing a tournament with an impressive 20 to 2 million views and a potential prize fund of 10 million. As a result, the WNBA appears to be having trouble figuring out how to effectively promote their single Portnoy. The greatest celebrity in history has already secured her for the upcoming season. Right now, you can really feel the panic rising in the league headquarters, don't you? Since this is at the heart of the whole problem, allow me to ask you this. Should Caitlin Clark focus entirely on the WNBA, or should she keep developing this enormous personal brand outside of basketball? Please share your candid opinions in the comments section below. Now, let's dissect precisely what transpired here, as the consequences of this action are far more significant than the majority of people even realize. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, a man who actually doesn't give a damn and whose feathers he ruffles, has been steadily growing his online invitational into a media powerhouse. This isn't your grandfather's usual celebrity golf scramble, in which a few well-known individuals get up, spend a few hours hacking the ball around, and then call it a day for charity. Oh no. Portnoy deliberately partnered with Bob Does Sports, a golf content producer with a ridiculously large following. Together, they have created an event that attracts the kind of viewership that the majority of professional sports leagues would be desperate to have.
Talked about if Caitlin did her own league. Do you know anything about what you would want to see her do? You said you'd partner with her and give her $100 million. That's the biggest offer that she's gotten.
If she would have let me be her agent, I would have in a second. And if she's like, I'll start a new league with you, I would get her whatever you want. I don't think she'll ever do that. Like, I talk with her never about that stuff. She has State Farm, Nike, Gatorade. Those are like blue bloods. Reminds of Tom Brady in a way. Like, very rarely, if ever, publicly says anything that like should cause any waves. She's kind of like been a good trooper for the Fever and the league. So I think she wants to make the WNBA work. I think she grew up wanting to play in it, but you have to have a certain personality. Like I think if she truly was like, I'm out of here, I'm starting my own league, she'd have people lining up, including my...
Who knows? However, Portnoy responded quickly and confidently when asked directly about his plans for the tournament the following year and whether he already intended to make it even bigger. There was no hesitancy each year. No, perhaps. No, we'll wait and see. Every year, it's a flat out. He then dropped the utter bombshell that should have WNBA execs scrambling for the antacids in a panic. He disclosed that he has already extended invitations to 2 individuals for the upcoming year. Amazingly, both have already agreed. Kaya Trump and Caitlin Clark. To his credit, Portnoy was open and honest about it. He acknowledged that he has no idea how serious those yeses are at the moment or whether their extremely hectic schedules will, who knows. However, Portnoy responded quickly and confidently when asked directly about his plans for the tournament the following year and whether he already intended to make it even bigger. There was no hesitancy each year. No, perhaps. No, we'll wait and see. Every year, it's a flat out. He then dropped the utter bombshell that should have WNBA execs scrambling for the antacids in a panic. He disclosed that he has already extended invitations to 2 individuals for the upcoming year. Amazingly, both have already agreed. Kaya Trump and Caitlin Clark. To his credit, Portnoy was open and honest about it. He acknowledged that he has no idea how serious those yeses are at the moment or whether their extremely hectic schedules will.
Care what the league did 10 years ago or 5 years ago. That doesn't matter, and that doesn't matter in any negotiation. It's like, well, we haven't made money for 15 years, 20 years, or whatever. That doesn't matter. It is now. Like, it is now, and you have to take advantage of it now. And that's how it works. So you never know, because she is in the middle, and commissioners are always in the middle, and commissioners are always going to take the brunt of what the owners don't want to feel. And who even knows what the real numbers are? Like when they came out, well, the owners, it's all mixed in with the WNBA, the NBA. It's super convoluted to actually figure out how much they're making, how much they're losing. And it's in the owner's interest not to really have the true numbers if they're going up. But just the television ratings and all the media deals. I wrote an article when Caitlyn signed her Nike deal. Like instantly, I'm like, this is the dumbest. I wish I was her agent. Like she got screwed, and she did. If you look back at it, like the power of her, and when her shoe comes out, like we'll see what the sales are. They're paying Devin Booker, I think, $40 million a year.
Yeah, I think Caitlyn's like getting 8, right?
In what universe is Devin Booker worth $40 million a year and Caitlyn's worth 8? It's insane. So it's all there, it's all up, and they're not taking advantage of it. And clearly
Dave Portnoy's strategy is incredibly appealing because he recognizes a basic business concept that the WNBA seems to be unable to comprehend. You don't wait for celebrities to approach you. You actively chase them. You make sure they feel valued and provide them with platforms that truly fit their enormous worth. For the better part of 2 years, however, the WNBA has allowed Caitlyn Clark to be physically assaulted on the floor while providing her with little league security and only mediocre marketing assistance. In sharp contrast, Portnoy said, "I want her at my event next year," as soon as he saw her compete in a golf tournament. That is the primary distinction between companies that genuinely comprehend contemporary star power and those who just take it for granted. Let's now include Sophie Cunningham because her involvement gives the entire narrative a whole new, intriguing level. Alongside Lexi Hole, Sophie worked as a celebrity caddy at the same Anakika prom, and something truly intriguing occurred there. Her golf stroke became noticeable to others. Sophie demonstrated a limited skill that truly attracted people's attention, despite her claim that she doesn't actually play the sport. It appears that she is finally taking action to realize her untapped potential. Sophie made a statement on her podcast, Show Me Something, which she co-hosts with reality TV personality Wes Wilson, that has a direct let's return to Clark's golf course. She stated that she plans to start playing much more seriously because she believes she has genuine potential in the game. According to her exact words, Clark's retreat is golf, while her own has always been the beach and the pool. However, Sophie wants to participate in that activity following their amazing experience at the Anakika. The quote that truly matters is this one. "We had a great time, so I believe Lexi, her, and I will go play a little more. We had a great time. It was really lovely. Simply put, it has a very different vibe than basketball. It was awesome. Take a moment to consider that." In the offseason, 3 Indiana Fever teammates are bonding over golf, developing strong team dynamics away from the demands of basketball and possibly generating content opportunities that will expand their individual brands much beyond the WNBA's extremely constrained reach. The circumstances surrounding Sophie's podcast are also rather intriguing. The podcast eventually ended up on Colin Cowherd's network after there was reportedly some serious discussion about bringing her show to Bartwell Sports, where Portnoy could have easily added her to his expanding media empire. However, something about her prior obligations prevented that deal from happening. Of course, it's still a good platform, but consider for a second what would have happened if Sophie had ended up at Bar. Something genuinely enormous could have been produced by the crossover possibilities between her content, Portnoy's golf tournament, and Clark's burgeoning golf influence. The complex relationship between all of these moving parts demonstrate the process of developing an athlete's brand. Additionally, it is no longer enough to simply stay in your lane and hope that your league would appropriately market you. It's about aggressively creating various revenue streams, building strategic relationships across completely diverse industries, and positioning yourself exactly where new opportunities emerge. Clark has an innate understanding of this. Sophie is currently trying to figure it out, and the WNBA is only observing from the sidelines, obviously perplexed as to why their athletes continue to achieve enormous success outside of league-run events. Speaking of success outside of the WNBA, let's properly contextualize Portnoy's viewership figures. According to him, the Internet Invitational attracted 20 to 25 million views in about a month. In contrast, the majority of WNBA regular season games fail to reach 1 million viewers. If they're very fortunate, the league's most prominent matchups, including those involving Clark, may reach 2 or 3 million. With a golf event involving online celebrities, Portnoy is creating 10 times as much engagement. And now he's adding the biggest name in women's basketball to the field for the next season. For the WNBA, this math is just terrible. There isn't another way to describe it. When their biggest star plays golf with Barstool Sports founder, it creates more excitement and attention than when she plays real basketball games in their own league. To be clear, Caitlin Clark is not to blame for that. That is a genuinely colossal marketing blunder. A once-in-a-lifetime talent actually fell into the WNBA's lap. Someone who brought an incredible level of attention to women's basketball and attracted record-breaking audiences in college. And what was their reaction? By allowing rival players to physically attack her while the league officials made feeble, ineffective remarks regarding competitive play. At one golf event, Dave Portnoy spots Clark and instantly invites her to his tournament. She is treated like a golden goose by the LPGA when they see her at one point. It appears that every entity outside of the WNBA is more aware of Caitlin Clark's worth. Compared to the league she is a member of, that is really embarrassing, and any WNBA executive who says they care about the league's long-term survival should be extremely concerned about it. Now, some might contend that Clark should keep all of this brand-building stuff for retirement and concentrate solely on basketball during her career. These individuals are fundamentally ignorant of the realities of contemporary athletic careers. Playing windows are rather brief. Injuries can occur suddenly. The public's attention is infamously erratic. When you are attractive, when others genuinely care about you, and when opportunities arise, you develop your brand. Right now, Clark is quite attractive. At the moment, many are concerned about her. The opportunities are currently arising. It would be utterly idiotic to wait. For a number of important reasons, the golf perspective in particular makes perfect sense. First of all, it's a sport with enormous crossover appeal, particularly among the precise demographic that sponsors pay top bucks to reach. Second, compared to basketball, it has a far lower risk of injury, so Clark may play without jeopardizing her main employment. Thirdly, it generates countless content opportunities that increase her exposure to whole new audiences. Fourth, it enables her to establish connections with influential figures in business and the media who can open doors that basketball would never be able to. Fifth, and perhaps most importantly, she actually enjoys it, so her involvement comes off as entirely genuine rather than forced. Most people don't realize how important authenticity is. Audiences quickly notice when athletes participate in marketing agreements or make appearances at events that don't feel genuine. Because she genuinely enjoys the game, Clark's interest in golf feels authentic. She has years of experience playing it. She is genuinely skilled at it, and it's clear that she enjoys herself when she's on the course. Authenticity directly translates into a level of engagement that is impossible for marketers to create artificially. Fascinating opportunities for the Fever as a team brand are created when Sophie Cunningham and Clark figure all this out. Golfing together, 3 teammates. Developing camaraderie outside of basketball and producing material together are examples of an organic team culture that garners titles and has a devoted following. Other WNBA clubs ought to research what Indiana is developing and consider why their own players aren't generating comparable possibilities. The Portnoy invitation also highlights a significant aspect of Clark's increasing influence in the larger sports media scene. Dave Portnoy doesn't ask people to attend his events because he needs them. He extends an invitation to them since they are so valuable. His invitation to Clark is a clear recognition that she has grown to be one of the most valuable names in athletics. Forget about it. Just sport, not women's sports. This distinction is crucial because it demonstrates that Clark has overcome the restrictive labels that organizations frequently attempt to apply to female athletes. When Portnoy discusses creating a $10, he's not fantasizing of $1 million prize fund for the following year. He's making calculations. He is aware that Clark's involvement ensures sponsor interest at levels that more than offset the prize money. He is aware that if she appears, the number of spectators will skyrocket. Because everything Clark does makes headlines, he is aware that the media will cover him nonstop. By inviting her, he is not being kind to her. He's making a wise business choice that will help them both. The WNBA continuously fails to recognize that mutual advantage. They should have a mutually beneficial connection with Clark. She increases them visibility, attendance, and income. They should then give her protection, top-notch marketing assistance, and pay that genuinely shows how valuable she is. Rather, the partnership has been entirely one-sided, with Clark offering enormous value and the league contributing very little in return. Other organizations are setting themselves up to take advantage of the value that the WNBA is leaving on the table after seeing this stark disparity. It's also important to think about the ramifications for free agency. Sophie Cunningham will soon have to make a significant decision regarding her playing career if she is creating brand chances and off-season enterprises connected to her fellow teammates. This generates a strong incentive to remain in Indiana that extends well beyond basketball considerations. More and more athletes are choosing their careers based on all available options rather than simply contracts. The Fever organization is gaining a significant recruitment advantage by establishing an atmosphere where players can develop their brands in addition to their basketball careers. This returns us directly to the main idea. The fact that Caitlin Clark accepted Dave Portnoy's invitation is just another illustration of how she is creating amazing value that is entirely outside the WNBA's control. She isn't holding out for the league to adequately advertise. She doesn't think they will finally see how valuable she is. Regardless of what the WNBA does or does not do, she is actively generating her own opportunities, collaborating with those who genuinely recognize her worth, and developing a personal brand that will flourish. There should be a genuine sense of terror in those league offices. Not because Clark is going to a golf tournament, they are directly harmed by the tournament, but it also effectively illustrates how easy their megastar can generate enormous engagement without them. Every successful brand move Clark makes outside of the WNBA serves as a clear reminder of the opportunity cost the league incurs by continuing to undervalue her. If the league had only handled things differently, every record she breaks at a golf event would have made headlines about basketball. With this one invitation, Portnoy demonstrates something crucial. Beyond basketball, women's sports, and whatever the WNBA could have ever dreamed of, there is a huge market for Caitlin Clark. And he's prepared to spend more money to get into that market, whereas the WNBA is stuck debating collective bargaining agreements and pay limitations. Because she is aware of what the WNBA won't approve, Clark agreed to Portnoy. Smart partners will pay to access her because she is more valuable than a basketball player. Everyone else is already lining up to collaborate with their golden goose as the league discusses how to manage her. With just one discussion, Portnoy was able to lock her in. She has been with the WNBA for months, but they still can't seem to figure it out. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if this breakdown explains why Caitlin Clark continues to succeed outside of basketball. We are monitoring every action in this developing narrative.